My wife cheated on me with the guy she told me not to worry about, but she regrets it and now I keep her on a short leash, but she's not the same. My wife, 31F, of 5 years cheated on me, 30M, last year with her friend when she was out with her friends. She used to go out often but always came back around midnight. However, this time she came home really late, like 5 past midnight, and very wasted, so I didn't press the issue that night. She was distant and didn't talk to me much in the days that followed. I only found out a couple of days later when she confessed to cheating after I kept asking her why she was being so cold to me. I was shocked. I never liked the fact that she went out to bars and clubs, but she never gave me a reason to distrust her until that night. I immediately grabbed a bag, packed some stuff, and left. She was begging me to talk about it, but I wasn't in the mood for it. I was angry, upset, and sad. I knew that I wasn't in the right headspace for that kind of talk, so I stayed with a friend. Fast forward a few days later, and I agreed to talk to her. She said she was extremely sorry and that it would never happen again, and she would do anything to make me stay. During the time I was away, I thought about staying or leaving, and I hated the fact that I still loved her. We don't have kids together, but part of me still wanted to stay, so I gave her certain conditions if she wanted me to stay. The first one was to never see the man she cheated on me with ever again. The second one was that I could see her phone or computer anytime I wanted without having to ask. And the last one was that she could no longer go out to bars or clubs without me, and she agreed to all of this. Over the last year, she's been estranged from her friend group because she can't go out with them without seeing the man she cheated on me with, and she hasn't really made any new friends. I haven't really checked her phone or computer either. I know she likes to go out, so I try my best to go with her when I have time. The bar and club scene was never my thing, but I try to enjoy it with her. Things haven't been the same as before, and I've thought about losing the last rule and letting her go out when she wants, but I keep thinking about what she did. I've explained this to my friend, and she said I should just divorce her if I can't trust her anymore. I've thought about it, and I haven't been as happy as I used to be. She says she's happy with me around, but she isn't as energetic as she used to be. So, what should I do? Update 1. Thank you all for responding. It was a little overwhelming how much attention this post got. To clarify some things that were asked, our relationship before seemed pretty good. I was never the club and bar kind of person, but my wife and I enjoyed going out to different places. We were both very outdoorsy. We often went camping, climbing, hiking, among many other things. We also liked taking trips around the country and sometimes abroad. We also had date nights once or twice a week, and we both worked from home, so we often had a good amount of free time. We aren't rich or anything, but we do fine. Also, to clarify something, we don't have kids, and we don't want kids. When it came to our bedroom life, I think it was decent. We did it maybe 3 to 4 times a week and often tried new things, never with another person though. The only thing we didn't share was her habit of going out to bars and clubs. And now, regarding her friends, some of you were under the impression I told her not to see any of her friends. I only told her to stop seeing the man she cheated with. At first, I didn't know exactly why she became estranged from the entire friend group. I met all of her friends, including the man in question. From what I know about him, he was a man who slept around with any and all women. Nothing happened between him and my wife before, but I never liked the fact that she went out so often with this guy, even if it was in a group setting, especially with booze involved. I did bring this up to her, and she told me there was nothing to worry about, and that this was just insecurity talking. As for our relationship now, we've gone out hiking a few times and gone out together on dates, but not nearly as often anymore. I just haven't felt the desire to. Our bedroom life is pretty barren as well. She's tried to initiate plenty of times, but I rarely want to. I've talked to my wife, and we both reflected on our relationship. She still claims she wants to stay with me and would respect my conditions no matter what. I asked her what she would do if I let go of the conditions. She told me she's truly ashamed of what happened, and she said she probably wouldn't go to a club or bar alone anymore. I asked about her old friends, and she told me that she doesn't want to be their friend anymore. She said they thought she was being unreasonable for not wanting to see the guy anymore, and that's just how he is. Basically, they refused to cut the guy off, and they didn't like that my wife had a problem with him. I never asked her about this before because I didn't care about how my condition was met, all that I cared about was that it was met. I've opened up a bit more, and how our life now is pretty dull. She said she's aware our relationship isn't the way it was before. I asked her if she wants things to change, but she said she doesn't feel that she has the right to ask me for anything. She said she's aware it's her fault our relationship is like this. I mentioned couples therapy, and she immediately said that it was a good idea. I still resent her, but from what I can tell, she does want to make this work. I can't fully trust her yet. I still remember when she first said that there was nothing to worry about. We decided to start couples therapy, and to be honest though, the only reason I'm willing to do this is because she has followed my conditions for an entire year, but I don't think this is going to help me trust her ever again. If therapy doesn't work, then I'll leave. Update 2. It's been a while since my last update, and lots of things have happened since. My wife and I have been in therapy for the past few months. It took us a couple of tries to find someone we were both comfortable with, and we both completely laid out our feelings. We talked about the reason why she cheated, and honestly, it was very hard to hear. Basically, she was simply curious. She wondered what made the guy she cheated with so special. Apparently, he slept with another woman in the friend group, and she talked about it to my wife. And that got my wife really curious, and the drinks did the rest. She mentioned regret setting in as soon as she got back to her senses. As for me, my conditions were to help me feel more secure, but also, they were a way for me to punish my wife. After some sessions, I just can't trust my wife anymore. I realized this when I told her she made my worst fears real. She slept with a guy I was insecure about. We're not divorced yet, but she cried once I told her my mind was made up. Besides some finances, there's not much to do. We don't own any property together, and we're both capable of living without alimony. I think we've already divorced some time ago, we're just making it official now.